Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is going to be for Cobra Kai Season 5. Some predictions. We're going to break down some of the predictions and theories that exist for Season 5. Get all up in it. I want to get your thoughts in here, too. So if you're with us, jump into the live chat and share your thoughts about Cobra Kai and what you think is going to happen in Season 5. Or, your opinions of Season 4. We also have a call-in line that you can leave a voicemail. That number is 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. You can watch that. You can watch that number anytime you want, but you can also call or text that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If I miss your call, if I miss your comment, I miss your question, I miss something, you're like, hey, Phil, I want you to talk about some random BS thing about Cobra Kai or about some other show. Please share that please give me a call. Please give me a call. Throw something at my head. Do something. But we're here this evening, Monday evening, January 10th, to talk about Season 5 of Cobra Kai. So I did a little video a couple of days ago, whenever the hell it was, giving 3 predictions. So first of all, we're going to listen to my 3 predictions. I'm going to trash myself. We're going to rip apart what I thought and why it might be wrong, but also share some of your thoughts about what you think about these particular theories, how you think they might be different, and then a few I did not mention and get a little bit more specific in some of them. But of course, I'm not alone. I have with me the live motherfucking chat with me tonight. Oh no, that's Johnny. Johnny's with me. Here we go. There's the chat. We got Peter Griffin. We got John Haymaker in here right now. We got Vince just popped in here as well. I'm sure we'll have a few other people popping in and out over the course of the evening, sharing their thoughts about Cobra Kai. And of course, spoiler alert for any of Season 4 of Cobra Kai. We're going to spoil the shit out of it. So if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you getting the fuck out of here right now because there's a lot of cool stuff that happens this season, and I don't want to accidentally spoil anything about that. I don't want you to know that Daniel's son won the lottery and ended up getting something inserted into certain parts of his body. I don't want to share with that. I don't want to share that with you quite yet. I want you to see that for yourself, because experiencing those kind of things, experiencing Cobra Kai things slapping you across the freaking face is way more effective than just some big long-haired loser telling you about what happened. But this is your last warning. Last warning. Tick, 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 boom, motherfuckers. Cobra Kai Season 4 is spoiled. Here we go. Lots of great stuff happened this season. Obviously, Hawk won the All Valley from the male side. Tory won it from the female side. Some stuff happened in the skills thing that Cobra Kai won, and Eagle Fang won nothing. But that's okay. At the end of the season, also, Miguel left at the end of the fight after a one-on-one battle with Hawk, where he hurt his back in a big cliffhanger before the last episode, which left Miguel going somewhere. So that's going to get us into my first prediction about Johnny going down to get Miguel and who might come with him. But before we go any further, let's get into the chat, see what people say in the live chat right now. We say, Peter Griffin says, Bonsai! Bonsai, Daniel-san! Bonsai. Praise be under the Cobra Kai eye. Commander Daniel-san. Peter Griffin says, so we know that Miguel will have a Karate Kid 2 arc. Phil thinks Robbie's going with him. I like that. So we're going to get into that a little bit. I can start out. My first stupid theory that I mentioned in this video is this one. Obviously, Johnny will go after Miguel in Mexico. First of all, let's listen to how douchey my voice sounds when it's pre-recorded. We'll start with that. But I also think Robbie will be joining him. And I think this will build off what we saw at the end of last season with Johnny and Robbie. Okay, so yes, I do think that Johnny is going down after Miguel. Obviously, he says that at the end of the season. And I do think that Robbie's going to come with him. I think we're going to build off that scene that we saw with the two of them. Johnny is going to head down and he's going to say, Robbie, just come with me. And it is going to be the beginning of the ability to repair their relation, to repair Robbie and Miguel's relationship. I kind of feel the same way about Robbie and Miguel as I do about Tory and Sam, and I'll get to Tory and Sam later, but there's more to talk about Tory and Sam. Or more to talk about Tory. I think we've done the fighting thing. We've done the point where Robbie kicks Miguel off in the school, hurts his back. We have the tournament fight in the first season that that Miguel wins. Maybe they need one last battle between the two of them to see who wins the rubber match here. But I think essentially we need to sort of separate their basic sort of conflict that's going on right now and sort of spread it out to something a little bit more complex and get into a little bit more to mirror what's going on between Daniel and Johnny, and having some sort of respect for each other, understanding where the other one comes from, but while still kind of having some sort of built-in rivalry. I do think they will fight again. I think they'll fight for a while when we first see them. I somehow have some sort of perspective that when Johnny and Robbie go down to find Miguel, that in that situation, that Johnny's going to become lost, and I don't mean lost as in emotionally. I mean lost as in get separated, and maybe they'll separate to look for Miguel, and I think Robbie is going to find Miguel first. I think a big part of the first part of the season is going to be Robbie and Miguel together, alone, interacting and building off that. Maybe fighting, maybe butting heads a little bit, but I think the eventual outcome of the two of their situations is going to be them becoming a little bit more friends. I think they'll be more friends than Tory and Sam will, because I think Tory and Sam have more to kind of have a foundation of hate for each other. Where I do think that Robbie and Miguel, it's a lot of happenstance that causes them to have problems with each other. Problems, obviously, with Sam and that interaction, but that's like a lot of miscommunication stuff, too. Right from the beginning, right when Robbie shows up at that party in the first season, he has a crush on Sam in that moment, but he's really not trying to settle in on Miguel. He reaches out his hand and actually offers somewhat of a friendship kind of engagement with him. And then Miguel's drunk, that causes that problem. And then the next season, it all leads up to the big battle between the two of them in the school. But I don't think that we can just keep going down the same old cycle with those two. I think an interesting element to set up would be them working together and bonding, going through a very dangerous situation that they're going to all go through down in Mexico. You can't hear me. Can't hear me. Am I too quiet? No, Sensei. I can't hear you. I have Robbie. Phil, you sound like a professor. I want to see that awkward stepbrother relationship. Don't touch my drum set. Danny Tanner will be missed. Friction is small. Is my audio okay? Just a quick question. Is my audio okay? I feel like I'm having someone says, I can't hear you. Vince says he can't hear me. So let's make sure that there is audio in this dojo. I don't want no audio in this dojo. Their friction is all Sam's fault. Absolutely. Phil, you sound like a professor. Does that mean I sound like a professor? Like the sound of my voice is weird, or the way I'm like teaching the class sounds I'm Professor Issues guy. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any audio issues. Hey, Sonic. Great to see Sonic in the live chat. Great to see John Haymaker. John Haymaker gave us a super chat donation. Where's my wheel? Let me spin this wheel for John Haymaker. Spin the wheel! And John Haymaker said, rest in peace to the amazing, the dirty, the incredibly funny Bob Saget. Bob Saget might not have been everyone's cup of tea when it comes to Full House, but his dirtiness and rawness and the way that he could tell a dirty joke was bigger than and better than almost anyone on this earth. I would say in this calendar year, yes, we lost Betty White, who was 99. It's a tragedy, but she's 99. This dude was only 65. And I know some people are like, 65? That's kind of old. It's like, no, that's young. When you're as old as I am, I'm like, 65, that's fucking young. And then Norm. Within one calendar year, we lost two of the dirtiest son of a bitches that ever, funniest son of a bitches. Sorry, I can't even say it. I haven't done any hippie activities yet today. Some of the dirtiest sons of bitches that ever existed on this frickin' planet, with Bob Saget and Norm Macdonald. Two hilarious motherfuckers that are sitting somewhere having drinks right now, if that's possible, laughing their freaking asses off, or, they're both sitting in some dirt somewhere making a fucking joke. I love all the jokes that are coming out from Bob Saget, even from the people that know him, are saying things like, there's no sign of drug use, there's no sign of this, there's no sign of that. Obviously, it was auto asphyxiation. Obviously he was jerking off while he was choking himself. And you can say those kind of jokes because Bob Saget would appreciate it. He was one of those guys. He would make jokes about his death. He would be the first one to make a joke about his death. But Bob Saget is a hilarious guy. I don't think there's many people from a performance standpoint that were able to walk that line as well as Saget was. Yes, he started off his career as, dirty, jokey kind of telling person, and then he led it on later on to get on Full House and then America's Funniest Home Videos. But then he balanced that back and forth for fucking many years. That dirty ass, like, pervert comedy that he did, which was, like, ridiculous. I think the first time I got broken out of my Bob Saget bubble was right after Full House ended, and he said something along the lines of, I've seen the Olsen twins naked, or like, I forget what he said. I forget what the joke was, but it was ripping apart his Full House sort of image. And people that tune in right now might be like, what the goddamn hell does Bob Saget have to do with Cobra Kai? Obviously, we're, sending some rest in peace, but Bob Saget kind of does have something to do with Cobra Kai. I'm going to make a separate video on this, and I'm sure someone else has made a video. I'm not entirely unconvinced that the whole ideas of Cobra Kai, or a big foundation of Cobra Kai, came from How I Met Your Mother. And I'm sure that whole thing existed before How I Met Your Mother. They didn't create it, but it was the place where I sort of first heard the whole Johnny's the hero in the story and Daniel Son's the villain. And that was the place where it really got, William Zabka was in, I want to say, like 4 or 5 episodes. It could have been less. And Ralph Macchio was in 1. Excuse me, maybe 2. But I think William Zabka was in a lot of the final season of How I Met Your Mother, because he went to Barney's wedding and he was Barney's best man, or his initial best man. So there is some in How I Met Your Mother. Bob Saget was the narrator. But Saget was a multi-talented kind of dude, played music, hilariously, rudely funny, and then really sold the family comedy well. So rest in peace to one of the greats, Bob Saget, and thank you for even a little touch in what you brought us through Cobra Kai and bringing us, being on the show that helped attract more attention back to the Karate Kid franchise. Way better than than the spinoff did, I would say, or the spinoff or the reimagine, the reboot. I'd say both of those things didn't do as much for Cobra Kai as How I Met Your Mother did. I think How I Met Your Mother was the biggest public force that caused Cobra Kai to happen. Anyways, I'm going to make a whole video on that at some point in time. It's not a tumor. Thank you. Your prediction video when you said, the prediction video when I sounded professional like a teacher. Yeah, I think I should sound like a douchebag. Hi, everybody. This is Phil, and I'm giving you some predictions about what's going to happen in Cobra Kai. Shut up! Oh, wait. I spun the wheel. Where'd it go? It landed on Joe Drink. But Joe isn't here today, so I'm the one that has to drink. Thank you so much for that super chat donation to rest in peace, Bob Saget. So if wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, whenever you're watching this, pick up a drink. I don't care, and I know what they say, don't toast with water. I don't give flying poop. Toast with water, toast with coffee, toast with soda, whatever you got. Raise the drink for the super chat donation, and anyone who makes a super chat donation, I spin that wheel over there. I spin that wheel over there. I know my right from left, and whatever it lands on, I have to do it. This time landed on a shot, so I'm taking a shot, ladies and gentlemen, to Bob Saget into this season of Cobra Kai. Woo, baby! What is up, Killmonger? Great to see Killmonger. Great to see Norm. Norm died from shares. Oh, McDonald. No, not George Wendt. Norm McDonald. What is up? Rest in peace, Bob. I never knew about that side of Bob. Don't forget America's Funniest Home Videos. I mean, you could say that even though he did it in a very cheesy way, Bob Saget's voiceovers in America's Funniest Home Videos helped influence a generation of YouTube people like Ozzy Man or other YouTube people that sort of make commentaries on what they're watching on the screen. Like, look at the little guy over there. Oh, he got fucked in the face like that. Ah. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I was saying right there. I'm drunk. I had one shot. Greetings, Casey. Randy. We got Randy in the live chat. We got Sonic. We got John Haymaker, Killmonger. We got all of our old friends in the live chat tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you for that super chat donation. I am buzzed. I had my one drink. I'm buzzed as hell. But yeah, it was a big starter for the YouTube thing, I think. I think Bob Saget's America's Funniest Home Videos helped influence a bunch of generations of people, and America's Funniest Home Videos going further with that too. But I think helped influence a bunch of people to be able to do voice or to want to do voiceovers of some kind. Yes, he was easy to make fun of during that time period. The America's Funniest Home Videos and the and the fuller house Bob Saget is easy to make fun of. He's really cheesy. Really fucking cheesy. But Bob Saget evened it out with some of the dirtiest humor you're ever going to get in the world. Okay, so let's listen to a little bit more of my stupid bullshit. It's also going to be the start of Robbie and Miguel repairing. It's just a contrast. I'm sorry, I don't want to like lick my own labias here, but listening to myself talking as myself, you hear it. I just want to point out again the ridiculousness of the way my voice sounds different when I'm talking live and when I pre-record. This is what I love about people. I mentioned Ozyman, Tony, friend of the show, co-host of the Usual Suspects podcast with myself and Bridge 4, and just one of my closest friends of the last while, Tony Teflon. When he's live or when he's recording, it's the same fucking thing. You know, it's the same trait, same sounds to his voice, same attack. You know, there's no difference. When I'm pre-recording, I sound like a snooty douchebag. Let's listen to more of this snooty douchebag. Their relationship. I also think a big chunk of the first part of the season will be dedicated to this storyline. And to go further down that path, I think Miguel's father will not just be a bad man, but will be a dangerous one too. Okay, so I don't think Miguel's father is... I mean, a lot of people have made this prediction, but I do want to explore it a little bit. I think Miguel's father is way worse than we've been put on so far. I think we're going to meet... I think it's interesting that we get that line by Miguel's mother, because I thought she was going to hammer down. No, he's actually really dangerous. He's someone you should worry about. When Johnny said, don't worry about him. You know, he's a bad man. I'm a bad guy too. And then she said he doesn't even know about Miguel. So I think there's going to be some danger that Miguel has put in that puts Johnny in. But I do think this guy is going to be not quite Nancy Botwin's boyfriend from Weeds or something like that kind of drug kingpin. But I do think he's not going to be just a normal bad guy. I think there's going to be a lot more danger involved in everything. I think they haven't hinted at this guy for 3 seasons. And I think I said this during my season 1 review way back when this was on YouTube Red, that I think that, well, I thought he would be. I thought he would be an end game. I thought the final season would be something to do with Miguel's father. Like Miguel would win the tournament again. His father would notice him because he got some press about it or something and then come and find him. But he doesn't know Miguel's his son. So this is going to go a different direction altogether. I wonder if we're going to meet more of Miguel's family that he doesn't already know he has. I think there's going to be a lot that goes on down there. Maybe I could be wrong and his dad could be a very nice guy and it all goes much to do about nothing. But I personally think that so much of next season is going to feel not fragmented, but everything is in different spaces. I think you're going to get Miguel, Robbie, and Johnny down in Mexico doing that whole storyline for, I think, this is my opinion. People can think I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm very well could be wrong. But I think that for 3-4 episodes, we're going to have them down in Mexico. I don't know if they're going to be, I think they're going to be traveling in the first episode, and then we're going to get a big chunk. I don't think it's just going to be like Daniel's trip to Okinawa someone said in the comment section that they think it's going to be more like that. I think it's going to be more than that. I think it's going to be more of a full half season arc. Is it full or half? A half season arc. Similar to the Johnny and Daniel working together last year. That it all led up to a big fight between them in the midpoint of the season. Another spoiler for season 4. We do get a Johnny and Daniel fight that ends like Rocky 2. So I think that we're going to get a big chunk of the season that's going to be dedicated to that. And then through that, we're also going to get the conflict with Terry and Daniel and Chosen and Mike Barnes and Snake and what was Snake's buddy? I wrote it down. I got it written down here. Snake's buddy. What the fuck is his ass name? Snake and Dennis. I definitely think we're gonna get Snake and Dennis this season too, or at least one of them. I'll steal this from someone else I heard this from, and I forget who it was, but I think Terry's not just going to put Mike Barnes in front of a school or something too. He's going to want to get everyone he knows that possibly could teach Cobra Kai at this point in time or teach Quicksilver to kind of set up a bunch of different schools. And I think that's going to involve with Mike Barnes, Snake, Dennis, and I think Tory too. And we'll get to Tory later, the third point with Tory and Sam, and I want to get into why I think Tory is going to give the trophy back or going to try to make amends with Sam in Miyagi-Do while still working with Cobra Kai and still being loyal to Terry. We'll get into that a little bit. Miguel will shoot his father with a hunting rifle. Killmonger says Johnny's going to have guns pointed at him a few times next season. I agree with that. I think the first half of the season is going to be, again, I keep saying this, but very dangerous. I think Johnny's going to get himself into trouble looking for him, and then Robbie's going to have to save the day, essentially. Or Robbie and Miguel are going to have to save the day together because Johnny's going to be indisposed. I kind of hinted at that, or saying Johnny's going to be out of the picture. They're going to get lost. It could be that Johnny finds Miguel's father before Miguel finds him and ends up in a really dangerous situation, and Robbie sneaks away by the skin of his teeth or watches what happens with Johnny, and then Robbie needs to find Miguel to go save Johnny. I don't know. I know I'm pulling shit out of every orifice of my asshole right now, but I do think it's going to be something in that neighborhood of things that are happening. And that's going to be a big chunk of their storyline in the first half of the season. I think when they get back, this is where things get interesting, because I do think that season 6 is going to be the last, is just my hunch. So I think this season is going to be very fragmented to lead into one big final battle. But is, and this is a question for everybody, is Terry going to make it out of this next season? Does the end of this season, is Terry still in charge of Cobra Kai? Is Terry's plan still moving along? Do we get the revenge of John Kreese at some point this season, or is that saved for season 6, for a final season of Kreese getting out of prison? Does Kreese bump into Dutch when he's in prison? And we'll get to that Julie thing a bit later too, if we think we might see Julie by the end of season 5. So a lot of fun things, but so much of this beginning half of the season I think is going to be dedicated to the Miguel in Mexico thing. A lot more than I think people probably speculate at this moment. Hey, we got Chris Smalls in the live chat. Great to see. Will season 5 be early this year or late? Chance, I did say that at the end of my cheesy Professor Asshole Phil video there. I think that since Cobra Kai is already finished filming at this point, I think that we're likely to see it in the late summer, early fall. I don't think we're going to have to wait till New Year's again. I would love to say it's definitely going to come out in the fall. We're going to see it, but it is finished, and it's going to take some time to edit it and all put it together and stuff. But they did manage to film two seasons in 1 year. And I think part of that was because Miguel is going to be in is it a Marvel or a DC movie? Someone that actually knows this information, that isn't pulling it out of their ass, can tell me in the live chat. The actor that plays Miguel got cast as a superhero in either a DC or a Marvel property. I'm not sure which one. So that's why he looks like he's been working out even more and he's looking bulky. But I think maybe they needed to work around his filming, so they filmed a lot more in this next season. So they filmed a bit earlier. They wrapped a bit earlier. But I think we're definitely going to get it this year. I think we're not going to have to wait till New Year's. Whether that means we're going to get it around Thanksgiving, because you also have to put into play that some other Netflix series are coming out this year that they're going to want to put a lot of time and attention to. Stranger Things, I think the last season of Stranger Things is also coming out too. So they're not going to want that anywhere near that. Obviously, the final season of Ozark starts in a couple weeks, but then there's a second half final season of Ozark coming at some point during the year too. So there's some sort of coordination that happens with people that it's their job to decide when things come out and when the best time. But I do think we're going to get lucky and get it at least before New Year's. Johnny, great to see Chris Smalls in the live chat. John Haymaker says, Johnny fakes his own death and moves to upstate New York. I love John Haymaker. You crack me up as always. Kreese has to tell Terry at this point. Oh, has to kill Terry at this point. Screw the tournament crap. I mean, when you're dealing with these two, Killmonger, it's not like someone could say, kind of take what you just said there and go, yeah, where are you going with that? But it's very true when we come from the foundation of where these two friendships started and with the snake pit fighting and everything like that. I honestly don't see any other outcome. We haven't had a lot of like hardcore stakes all the time in the sense of something huge like that happening, but I could very much see when Kreese is coming back. Some people think Kreese is going to go to Daniel and Johnny's side. I don't think so. I do appreciate that we got a lot of character growth on Kreese's side this season, and seeing that maybe he started to look at things a little bit more from a wider angled perspective, in the sense of what he did with Johnny before was wrong, breaking his trophy, making him go after Daniel, sweep the leg. Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence? All of those kind of moments in connecting, seeing what Terry was doing and understanding, wanting to win fair. I don't think it all made complete sense considering last year he tried to kill Johnny with a sai, but whatever. They wanted to go a different direction with Kreese this year. So I appreciate all that, but I think when he comes back and he's coming for revenge on Terry, it's not going to be a fucking game of patty cake. He's going dark here. He's not going to join Johnny and Daniel and Chosen's little team right there. Or maybe he'll join Johnny's team, but I don't even think so. I think last year, season 3, when it ends with Kreese with a friggin' sai wanting to stab Johnny and Daniel has to save him, I don't think there's any redemption in the sense of his relationship with Johnny and Daniel. I think that ship has sailed. I think him and him and Terry will have their own conclusion, and it could very easily end with him trying to fucking kill him. Kill Monger. Kreese has to kill. He does. Don't forget the Alpha Elite, the school gang. Yeah, I can't forget the Alpha Elite. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't mind seeing Julie Pierce, but let's not pretend that Karate Kid 3 was a good movie. Although it did have one of my favorite Mr. Miyagi fights when Mr. Miyagi fought off. That guy wasn't Cohagen in was he Cohagen in no, he was Cohagen's little buddy, right? He was Cohagen's number one. You're my number one guy. Bob, or not Bob, but whoever he was. That dude was in Total Recall, wasn't he? The guy that fought Miyagi at the end of Karate Kid 4. I could be wrong about that. Mike Barnes will put Daniel in his pace. His karate is a joke. I mean, with everything that we've seen, is there any way we're not going to get Mike Barnes' classic "Your karate is a joke" line at some point in time this season? I do think, and I'm going to make a whole video on that, and this is a different point that we're going to get. We're definitely, unquestionably, there's a 0% chance that we're not getting Chosen and Barnes fighting. That's happening. That is fucking happening. I am confirming it. Confirmed. Chosen and Mike Barnes will fight. I'm going to make a whole separate video on who I think is going to win that fight and that whole fight, and we'll get to it later in this video about why I think it's going to happen exactly. But I think there is a 0% chance that if both of them are cast on the show, that we don't get them fighting at some point. And we'll get to that in a way. Terry is around for all of next season. I have a feeling Terry, at least till Kreese brings him down, is going to be around for the whole entire series, for the rest of it all. Cobra Kai, No Way Home. Johnny needs a round. Oh, wait 1 second. Sorry. Needs a round 2 against Silver. Chosen will give Johnny a couple tricks. I think he will, and I also think they made a point to show you that Johnny started to block Silver's stuff, and just isn't quite there with it yet to be able to take on Silver. Not to mention, let's not forget that Johnny, for the second time, same thing happened with his fight with Kreese after he kicked Kreese's ass last season. He had a freaking concussion or something. Like, Silver cheap shotted him, but when he wasn't expecting it, and then he started seeing red and stuff. So I think that Johnny would have initially put on a better fight, put up a better fight if he was even just at 100%. I think he just came in there all angry and got hit in the head when he wasn't looking, and kind of quickly got concussed and was hearing seeing red the whole time. And then even within that, he still put up a pretty good fight against Terry for a few seconds there when he started to remember his Miyagi-Do training, which seems weird to me in the sense of how much Miyagi-Do karate was a joke in Karate Kid 3 to Terry and Mike Barnes. But Miyagi did kick his ass. Miyagi did kick both of their asses. So if we can say that Daniel is closer to Miyagi now in skill level and training, and he's training Johnny at that level too, who's also sensei level training, that when he's doing his wax on, wax off stuff, he's starting to get it. I think that was a little bit of a foreshadow of Johnny getting revenge in that kind of context and serving himself better in a second fight. But yeah, he does need a part 2. But I will not forget the Alpha Gate. Way to go. Oh, Blue Beetle. Thank you, John Haymaker. He's going to be the Blue Beetle. Way to go, Miguel or Xolo or something. What's his name? I forget the actor's real name, but good for him for building off this Cobra Kai stuff and getting himself a high profile starring movie role. So honestly, good for fucking him. Crazy that Stingray has to be the one that saved Kreese. I hope we do get more Stingray. And I think I'm wondering how long Stingray will stay loyal to Terry. Not so much based on Kreese or feeling bad about what Kreese did or the position where it put Kreese in. I think because of the fact that he likes so many of the Eagle Fang students. He has such a connection with them. When some of them turn to him and go, Stingray, like, why are you with the psycho? That dude's a fucking psycho. Get the fuck out of there. He might think twice about it. I wonder how much Stingray is going to be in the next season. Obviously, he had more than a cameo. If you say that Aisha's stuff was a cameo, Stingray actually was in a couple of episodes and served a very important role in the season. I mean, so did Aisha, but I'd say Stingray had a more meaty part. And I would like to think he was going to be in the next season and be a bigger part. But I don't know. I know that actor has a lot of other stuff going on. So I'm curious if they would have been able to get him for an entire season again. So I don't know. He might very quickly get cast aside by Terry at the beginning of the season because he served his purpose and he really isn't, in Terry's mind, Cobra Kai material. I mean, or he could set Stink up to start train. I feel like I'm talking about a Wire character. He could set up Stinkum to do something else. So Miguel is the Blue Beetle. Go Blue Beetle. Maybe Kreese promised Stinkray. I love how you guys we've just adopted calling him Stinkray. Stinkray or Red Belt. I want death and high stakes now. Killmonger, you make a good point though, because as much as this show has done something amazing in the sense of the first season was relatively grounded in reality, and then the second 2 seasons weren't, and then the third season, I would argue in some ways, was more grounded in reality again. But I think the way they did that was, even though the second season and the third season was more street fighting karate, it's still, the stakes of everything have risen every season. And with season 4 feeling the most stakes are there. Like that's when everything is really up for grabs and the important stuff is happening. So I think after we've now handled the tournament, 2 questions. One, will we get a third tournament on Cobra Kai? Will there be 3 total tournaments? Will we get one in season 6 or potential season 7 where we get Kenny versus Daniel Jr.? Or are all these characters that we're seeing right now, even though they all look much older, were they all supposed to be juniors and sophomores? Like, is Sam a senior? So Sam and Miguel and Robbie and Tory are all juniors. So that was the junior prom. So they do have 1 more year. So we will get from that. I'm answering my own question. So we will get one final All Valley probably with all of our main characters still in it. No one's going to be aged out of it and be like, there's 18, he's too old. I don't think any of them were seniors. And I think each one of them were theoretically juniors. And at this point, unless they're 17-year-old juniors and they'll be 18, or is it 18, under 18? So they have to be 17. So perhaps, maybe at this point next season, they'll all be 17, 18-year-old seniors in their last semester, but because it's at the end of the year and some of them won't be able to join. Maybe that might be an interesting side storyline with Robbie, and Robbie can't enter it because he's 18. he turns 18 too soon. But I do think we're going to see one more tournament for sure. But anyway, maybe it will just be for Johnny and Daniel facing off one last time, my best student versus your best student or something like that. I don't know if Terry's going to be handled and Kreese is going to be handled in this next season. But to your point, Killmonger, the stakes need to keep rising. And by setting it up to a point where where Johnny's getting guns pulled on him and we have some real danger afoot, that is a way to keep raising the stakes, and especially in an organic way. And when we set up since season 1 that Miguel's father is bad news and Johnny's going completely out of his element to a place to try to talk some shit. Awesome, Jay. I will play your voicemail in a few moments. So yes, congratulations for Miguel being the Blue Beetle. I want death. I want to see Kreese punch more car windows. Michael Ironside. I wonder if Barnes has a daughter. Sam and Tory need another outside threat. I wonder how much they're going to do with Barnes. I really do. I wonder if he's going to be a main character, how much they can get him. I mean, he is a working actor doing other stuff. So I don't know. I hope he's not just an alley guest appearance. I hope we actually get Mike Barnes on the ground, running, doing a lot of stuff, having a family, maybe having other students that he's already trained. Maybe that we find out that him and Terry had a relatively good relationship post Karate Kid 3. A lot of interesting things that maybe Terry, even though Mike didn't win the fight, held true to his deal a little bit and gave Mike some stake in some businesses or something. I don't know. I'm very curious to see how much they do with Barnes. I know the actor was really excited. I mean, as far back as like season 2, people were asking him the question. He was like, I'm excited. Give me a call. So I know he's excited to, probably similar to the way that the actor that plays Terry was, that Karate Kid 3 isn't very good. I mean, it has its okay parts here and there. I like the Miyagi fight versus Kreese and Bad Boy and Terry. I like some of the comedic Terry moments in the movie, but for the most part, it's not as good as, I mean, some people I guess might say Karate Kid 3 is better than Karate Kid 2, but I think my Karate Kid power ranking goes 1, space, 2, space, 3. And I might even like the next Karate Kid more than 3 sometimes. I might even like the Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith remake. Terry Silver is going to train Stingray. I assume he will too, or he'll train Stink to train other people. Because, I mean, at least we've seen that Stingray has a roughness about him that he's not afraid to go. And I think sometimes when he does some of his stunts, it looks really good too. So I do think I hope Stingray is a big part of next season, and I hope he is. I think him and Terry could be an interesting combination. I think he's so easily manipulatable, they could make him a very dangerous force. But I think when Snake and Barnes and whatever that other guy's name is, I blanked on it again, Dennis show up, he might be obsolete. Will Mike beat Daniel and honk his nose? I think that Chosen's going to be the one that takes down Mike Barnes. I said that before. I'll talk more about it a little bit later. I think Mike Barnes is still an unstoppable force for Daniel and can't do shit. Daniel is going to be psyched out, and I think it's going to be on Daniel to take Terry down, and I think Chosen's going to have to take Barnes down. Terry Silver's going to train. Come on, Johnny, not be there. Teenagers wax on, wax off. Colonel Duncan is the most powerful fighter. He will come in and destroy everything. It's very possible he could. Colonel Duncan is trained in many styles of death combat, and his whole crew is really dangerous. I don't know how Julie won shit. Joe had me cracking up when he said, "La Pusso runs like Frankenstein" or whatever. Oh, yeah, when her run. Ah! What was funny about that is I heard a interview with the actress that plays Sam, and she was talking about her stunt doubles. They were talking about like the hardest things their stunt doubles had to do, and she's aware of it. She said, apparently I run really stupid because my stunt double told me that she had to really, really work hard to run the way I run, and it looks really stupid. I also direct you, if you want to see some awkward running scenes, to the second Star Wars Attack of the Clones, when Natalie Portman's character, Princess Ubaduba there, gets knocked into the sand. Full credit to Mr. Plinkett, Ubaduba. Where she gets knocked in the sand, she gets up, she goes, "Tell those droids over there," and she runs off through the sand. Whoever's running did not run good. Yeah, Miguel's 16, 17-ish. All the teenage actors are in their like 20s or 30s. It's like the 90210 or the Glee thing when half the actors are all like mid-20s and stuff. We might get 2 All Valleys, or they'll skip it like in season 3. Isn't there an over 18 All Valley tournament? I've wondered that too several times during the season, Vince, when we've talked about Johnny and Daniel fighting again. And I know we got it in the sparring competition kind of thing for control of the dojo, and it ended in the Rocky 2 ending. And I wonder if that's the show's way of concluding that whole what if they actually fought for a third time in another tournament. I mean, I wonder why Johnny didn't enter the All Valley that Daniel won the next year, the 87 one. Maybe Johnny was a little bit too old. I don't know. But I wonder why Johnny didn't enter that tournament. I mean, maybe he was on tilt from losing to Daniel the year before, but you would think he would want a rematch. Maybe, I mean, Kreese choked him out. He's probably in a pretty bad place at that point, but still. He was so out of the loop, he didn't know that Daniel got a bye to the final round. I love that. Was one of my favorite parts of the entire season when he's telling him the story of Karate Kid 3. And Johnny goes, "Wait, are you telling me you got a bye to the final round? That's bullshit, man." I love how that's what he took from that story. I want a final fight, but there should be an over 18 tournament, Vince. We haven't heard about it yet, but that could be, I kind of thought that might be one of the additional rules that they add, an over 18 tournament section as well, but maybe they could do that in the final season in some way. And that's where we could get, and as people are like, they're all old. We don't want to see the fight, but I do. I want to see a final fight between Terry and Kreese to the death in a building coming down, surrounded by fire. Sorry, I have to play that with music because that is an amazing fucking. This is what Killmonger wants to see. Play, damn it. I want to see a final fight between Terry and Kreese to the death, with the building coming down around them, surrounded by fire. So kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles against Shredder final fight during Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, the movie, when after Raph gets his ass kicked, a little too Raph, and then the foot lights the whole place on fire and they all get their ass kicked. Okay, Robbie wins the final All Valley. Is with Johnny as a sensei. I think so too. Unless we're gonna make Robbie the Buffalo Bills of Cobra Kai, which could be interesting too. But I do think Robbie deserves one. I mean, he's always a bridesmaid, never a bride, is what they say. Okay, Pick Your Poison. Thank you, Pick Your Poison, for joining us. If anyone new is joining us right now, thank you so much for popping into the live chat. By all means, share your thoughts in the comment section on this season of Cobra Kai and what you want from season 5. Excuse me. Got a couple of voicemails with our good buddy Jay that I'll play in a second, but we also have a voicemail line that you can see, right up there. You can call and leave us a voicemail, and I will play it. Anything about Cobra Kai Season 4 or Season 5 speculation. But great to see you Pick Your Poison, and thank you to everyone. If you haven't already and you're joining me here, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I go live. The next show I will be talking about, I'll throw in all year in between now and when Cobra Kai comes out, I'll throw in a bunch more Cobra Kai videos and live streams. But the next show that we'll be talking about here on the channel is I'll be talking about Ozark. I'm going to binge watch that in the first 2 days it's out. I think it's 7 episodes, so around 7 hours. I will binge that. I'll try to start the night before, similar to what I started before, and then do a quick review and then break down all sorts of stuff for that. So the next show I'm going to be talking about on this channel is Ozark. So if you're, and I think I said Ozarks again, I keep saying Ozarks. Ozark, singular. If you're interested in that show, make sure you stick around for that kind of discussion. And then we've got tons more shows coming this year. Better Call Saul, the final season of The Walking Dead. Gotta say that quietly. The new Game of Thrones spinoff series, The Last of Us, the Lord of the Rings series. We're going to be talking about each one of those as well as many, many others that I don't even know yet because it hasn't come out yet. Okay, let's continue down in the live chat. Let's catch up. Think they will spin off with the younger generation with Daniel Jr. and his group, kind of like they did with the Muppet Babies on The Walking Dead? I would not doubt that. I know there's been talks of spin-offs, whether it be a Miyagi prequel kind of thing, or I haven't heard any other specifics on what we might get for spin-offs, but I could see something like that if the storyline goes in a completely different direction and we need something with the kids, because those kids are in junior high, right, or middle school? They're not even high school kids yet, am I correct? So they're much, much younger. And I think it's going to be interesting seeing how much Kenny bullies LaRusso. And I got to give the kid credit. That kid has kind of done pretty well in his bit parts and other scenes. I didn't hate him this year. I mean, I hated him, but I didn't hate the performance. The actor obviously grew up a bit, and I'm glad they gave him more to do. And I look forward to seeing him get his ass kicked for a whole season, which I hope. I would pay money to watch Kenny kick the shit out of LaRusso. I like it. I know I'm condoning fucking ass kicking here, but LaRusso deserves it. He was a douche. Will Hilary Swank be in Cobra Kai? I'll talk about that. I talked about that a little bit in another video, where Ralph Macchio, I think everyone wants Hilary there. I think Ralph Macchio, William Zabka have both said she 100% invited anytime she wants. Show creators are probably reaching out, but you're dealing with someone that actually, whether she was the greatest actress in the world or not. She's a Oscar winner, and she might not want to remember or look as fondly back as someone like Elizabeth Shue does, because it's her first part ever. She might not look back fondly on her 90210 or her next Karate Kid years. And people that don't know, Hilary Swank was also Steve Sanders, and people that are too young to know who Steve Sanders is, the Sharknado guy, played his girlfriend on a season of the old school Beverly Hills 90210 in the 90s. So, and also Aaron Paul was on that show too. A lot of people got their start on 90210. Jessica Alba, a couple of other people as well. So who else? There's a few other people, but that is the first time I saw Hilary Swank. It wasn't Next Karate Kid, it was 90210. So do I think she's going to show up? Yes. I think she's going to be a bit part, though. I don't think they're going to get her for a season. I think we'll get some, but I could be wrong. She could pop up this year where Daniel's trying to get all the Miyagi-Do teachers or everyone that knows Miyagi-Do, especially once Chosen shows up. I think there's more of a chance. Now that Chosen has showed up, I think there's more of a chance, as he might say to Daniel, yeah, you're kind of, is there anyone else that's trained in Miyagi that isn't as much of a LaRusso as you? And Julie's name could come up. So we could get like a one-off episode with Julie, similar to the one-off we got with Chosen last season. So a couple seasons ago. So I don't know. I would like to think that she'll show up at some point in time, but I think they've been trying. I feel like they've been trying, and she's like, but now that the show's getting even more public love, I think it's more likely to see her. The person you're gonna see on there is Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield's gonna be in the American Idol girl that sang the song at the tournament. Carrie Underwood, is that her name? I think you're going to get Andrew Garfield in a role next season because of how much he loves it. People that didn't watch all of that, Andrew Garfield is like the hugest Cobra Kai fan, and he was like doing an interview on, I think it was Kiss Kiss Boom or something. He was doing the press junket in amongst all the Spider-Man questions. Someone asked him about Cobra Kai, and he's like, I had to stop watching because there's not a new season yet, and I'm fucking pissed about it. I love this show. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then they did a separate interview with him later where the whole cast sent him whoa, you like our show, Andrew Garfield? Oh my goodness, hi. During the filming of season 5. So I think you might see Andrew Garfield in season 6 of Cobra Kai. Maybe. I don't know. But I do think you're going to see, maybe he'll play Julie's husband or something like that. Some sort of bit part like that. But who knows? So if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'd put money on that she shows up, at least for a cameo. So yes, that's my question. 213. I'm in Anthony LaRusso. Hey, Jake Cruz. Good to see Jake Cruz in the live chat. To the death. Snake bit a fellow chaka, eh? Oberyn Martell is in The Last of Us. Yes, he is. He is the main star of that show. Or him and what's her name is also in it as well. The little bear. So everyone, as I mentioned before, we have a voicemail line if you want to leave your question or comment in about Cobra Kai season 5 predictions or season 4 reviews. Please leave that message at 781-990-8509. Here's our first message from Jay. We got a couple of messages from Jay we'll play right now. And let me do this for a second here. Here we go.
By the way, if you really think Dennis is going, Dennis or Snake is going to really be able to teach anybody anything, they got beat up. One got pretty easily beat up by Danielson, and the other got beat up by the pottery girl next door who knew nothing about martial arts. Okay? So I don't really think they have much to teach anybody. They were just people that were just there in the third one. You really need to go back and watch the third one.
Oh, I've gone back and watched the third one very, very much not too long ago, Jay. And you're right about that. I kind of generally forgot that she smashes the she's working on the pottery barn thing, and she smashed it on Snake's head. But if you want to know how to get bad in LA, Snake's your guy. So I do think that probably Snake and Dennis were Terry's drug dealers more than they were actually tough ass guys. So you're probably right. So unless he's trained them so far over long periods of times in the Quicksilver method, but to your point, you're absolutely right. They didn't stand a chance against Daniel. Even in Daniel's weakened state during that movie, he kicked Snake's ass pretty easily in the bonsai tree store. And then what's her name? Daniel's not girlfriend in the second movie, when the girl that has no romance, 5 minutes into them almost having a romantic connection, she tells him she has a boyfriend. That whole situation, she ends up kicking the other dude's ass. So fair point about Snake and Dennis. And let's listen to Jay's other message here.
A couple of things. The actor that plays Johnny said that, since Daniel beat him in the tournament, he hadn't been using martial arts. The first time he uses in that first scene in Cobra Kai or whatever. I don't really think anyone is at the skill level Miyagi was now. I don't think any of the fighters. I think Terry would probably be the closest, but I don't think he actually kept up with it.
Now, I know, Jay, you like when I play the whole message, but I do want to comment on that for a second, because you very much might be right. I was talking about that a little bit off air with somebody of who's the closest to Miyagi right now in fighting. And I would guess the closest would probably, you're saying it's Terry. I'm feeling like it might be Chosen, but just because I think Chosen was even holding back when fighting Daniel and being the closest person that might have the full knowledge of the Miyagi arsenal, that yes, he taught Daniel the dead leg techniques or whatever, the pressure point techniques. But it seemed in that scene, the way he was talking to Daniel, that he had a Josh Baskin, of knowledge that he didn't impart onto Daniel quite yet. So I think you're right in the sense of skill level. Terry is the top of his game of tough wise, of the best at his brand of karate. But I do think, in my mind, Chosen has at least, because he trained with Sato longer than Daniel trained with Miyagi. And because Miyagi generally, at least from what we've heard, sort of stopped Daniel's training post Karate Kid 3. Daniel sort of went away from karate, probably started working. We haven't got this information filled in. Started working at a auto dealership, met his wife Amanda, which they were a sales team. I'm doing some headcanon shit here, but whatever. And then I get a feeling like they didn't really go back to karate till Sam was interested, and then Miyagi started going back to square one with teaching Sam karate. So, and I think Sato probably kept up, and Sato and Miyagi are 1-on-1. Probably Miyagi's a bit better because it was his father, and his father might have taught him a little bit more. But I think we're supposed to, if and it's been a while since I saw Karate Kid 2. I've seen 3 more recently than 2. But I'm pretty sure Miyagi says at a point in time, everything I know, Sato knows. So I feel like everything Sato knows, Chozen knows now. So I would say Chozen is the closest, but I could be wrong. Barnes, I think, is going to end up being the toughest son of a bitch because at the time, if you think he was 16 years old, being a Karate Kid bad boy with all multiple techniques, he was supposed to be some unmatched superstar of some kind. So now he's just older. So he might end up being the toughest son of a bitch on the team.
Like
Carol Baskin? Josh Baskin? Peter Griffin says, Chosen's probably the closest, but this is Miyagi-Verse, so he is Omega level. Is Terry Silver and Johnny's son a real martial artist in real life? He looks legit. He is not, I believe. Oh God, there's a couple of really good YouTube videos with the cast. There's one where they're talking about their stunts, and it's called Hardest Stunts on Cobra Kai or something with the cast. They talk about, I think Taylor, who is Johnny's son, is like ballet gymnastic experience, not martial arts. So that's why he looks so fluid with his movements. Or maybe it was Hawk that was in dance techniques and Robbie actually had some martial art training. There was something about those two had some sort of physical movement training before all of this, where the rest of them are kind of new at it all. So the two that have had some sort of training, besides the actor that plays Terry, who is a real martial artist, who's a real black belt, I believe. Someone can correct me on that if I'm speaking out of turn there, but I believe Thomas Hayden, what's his name? Someone say in the live chat his real name. The actor that plays Terry, I believe, is a real black belt. So he's probably the toughest in reality in the cast.
And like, I don't know, I just don't think Chosen or any of them were there. And also, I don't know, Mike Barnes just seems like he was the best martial artist because he was essentially a ringer.
Yeah.
He was basically like a person that had won championships and like a bunch of tournaments everywhere else or whatever, and was already basically would be like a sensei type level person. Is like back then or whatever. He just probably wouldn't have the maturity or whatever to teach you or whatever. But like his skill level for back, like it was basically bringing in like someone who is a professional fighter to fight like in an amateur tournament or whatever. And the main reason Daniel's going to fight Chosen is because Chosen was fighting with a martial arts style that like Miyagi was very, very familiar with and could train Danielson against. Mm-hmm. And for the third one, Miyagi just ignored Daniel and just wouldn't train him at all.
Yeah, he kept back his training and he wouldn't teach him because he felt like he didn't realize the pressure Daniel was under from the other side. Daniel wasn't really communicating that well, and Daniel was in a douchebag kind of move through all Karate Kid 3. I absolutely agree, obviously, because I said the same thing right before listening to your message. I should have played the whole message, but we have the same thought about Barnes. Barnes is gun for hire. A mercenary karate guy that is supposed to have been, at least from the way he was presented in Karate Kid 3, as someone that was a very young master on the level of not quite, as far down the line as someone like Kreese or Terry, as we see them put up better fights against Miyagi in the moment, but he's supposed to be that much better. And I agree, he has a completely different style of karate, and Miyagi wasn't training Daniel at all, but obviously Miyagi, when he fought Barnes, just threw him off quite easily. And what you said about Chosen, I would agree with that as well too. I think also you got to say where Daniel was at that point in time. He's probably at the height of his ability up until the point of now when he's older, because he had just trained all the way through. He trained all those months for the tournament. They left basically right after the tournament to go to Okinawa, at least within a month or so of at least graduation or whenever that was. So it was a few months later they went, and Daniel was probably keeping up his training through that whole time. And then he went to Okinawa, learned his training even more, kind of was building on things. And also because of what you were saying, where they had similar styles of karate, Miyagi he knew what to expect. And everything that he threw at him, he had already sort of sparred with Miyagi at different times, and probably we didn't see a lot of it. Daniel was helping Miyagi train for the Sato fight, so there was probably some sparring or some interacting, as my Boston accent comes, some span, dude. Some fucking span. Suggestion. What do you think about doing a movie review on the 4 Karate Kid movies? I would fucking love that. 2 things. I'm not sure if you can tell me which you would rather, Sonic. Would you rather a movie review of all 4 movies, like do 4 individual reviews on each individual movie, or live watches where I try to get Joe over here and we're watching it live? That might be difficult right now to do, but I will maybe. I think I'd rather do a review of the first one and the second one, and then I'd rather do live watches of the second one and the third one and the fourth one, because they're worse. I think they'd be more fun to do live watches than reviews. But the first 2. Maybe I'll do a singular review of Karate Kid 1 and 2 and then do a couple of live watches. But yes, before the next season of Cobra Kai, I will definitely do that. Wicked fucking awesome, dude. This night is fucking awesome, dude. Let me fucking play more of my douchebag personality here. Number 2, Sam and Tory will be friends, or on the path to that. I think Tory will tell Sam about Terry's cheating in the All Valley, and this will be the first brick in the wall of them becoming friendly. After 3 seasons, okay. Do I think really that they're going to become friends? Let's talk a little bit about Tory and Sam. Similar to what I said about Robbie, I don't think they're going to be as close as Robbie and Miguel. I think Robbie and Miguel are actually relatively okay by the end of the season. I think Sam and Tory, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get there, but I do think I think I'm full of shit here. I don't agree with what I say there. I think I jumped the gun a little bit. I think I had some premature verbal ejaculation going on right there. I think Sam will return. Tory will tell Sam about losing, about the payoff, or will think about it. But I forgot a little bit about Tory's aunt. I was rewatching the season, and we do get that moment where Tory's aunt shows up out of the blue for one moment and one moment alone, which seemed to me like it was breadcrumbs for next season, where Tory needs to be in a certain position to be able to get custody of her younger brother when the mother dies. And the aunt is a scumbag that's trying to just collect the mom's checks and probably use the kid for extra payments so she doesn't have to do anything. So there's going to be some sort of court case involved with Tory. I love the way it is with my hands are just up, like, hi, everybody. Like I don't have any arms. Hi, how's it going? I don't know why I do that. Like, this is my voice right now. Like the Swedish Chef or something. So I do think that Terry is going to be a very good source for her. Terry, with everything that's happened, she's his champion. Like Terry was saying about Johnny. Johnny is as Kreese's champion. He's going to look at Tory as his champion. He helped her out. He owns her because he owned that championship. And I think that also means you're under the Terry Silver seal of protection, which means you got billionaire lawyers on your side, or multi-million-dollar lawyers on your side. And I think she's going to be in a situation where she's forced to be connected to Terry and can't do what she wants to do, which is what I say in number 2 there when I'm sticking my nose up my own ass. And I'm like, oh, I think they're going to be friends. Excuse me. Sorry, anytime I scratch my nose, I feel like I'm picking it, and I feel like a pig. I'm like, let me pick my nose. But sorry, audio people. But I do. I think that we're going to learn through some actions and maybe some verbal cues that she's going to want to tell Sam about this. She's going to feel like it's all bullshit. Like she bought her championship and it's not legit. But she's going to be in a very difficult position. That's going to set up a big conflict between her. I don't think she's leaving Cobra Kai through the whole season. I think that's Tory's arc next season. Wanting to leave Cobra Kai but can't because she's too deep. And she needs Terry to be able to make sure she gets her family. And Terry is going to manipulate the living fuck out of her. Like, manipulate her. Terry's not just going to easily let Tory leave. And someone we know and care about besides just Kenny needs to be, and Kenny might be the next generation of Cobra Kai for Terry, but I think he can't be our only source into Cobra Kai. Like, at least one member of the original crew, or not original season 2, but original group of Johnny's Cobra Kai students needs to still be there. And I think that's going to be Tory, and I think she's just going to be in a weird struggle for most of the season. I will definitely play that in a second, Jay. Do you see Kenny's brother joining Cobra Kai or going with Robbie? I think once he gets out, I don't... You and do multiple ones like the last one. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll do a review of Cobra Kai 1 and of Karate Kid 1 and 2, either it's 2 separate videos as one video, and then the other 2 movies I'll do as a live watch, either just myself or if I can get Joe over here to watch it too. Or maybe we can do Joe digitally somehow, visually, where we're both watching from our own places. But do I see Kenny's brother? Yeah, I think Kenny's brother's going to like it. Who is he going to be loyal to when it comes down to it? Is he going to be loyal to Robbie, or is he going to be loyal to his brother and excited that his brother's kicking ass? And his brother's like, Robbie's a fucking pussy. Fuck Robbie. I think once his brother gets out, I don't know if he's going to join Cobra Kai, but I think he's going to definitely be on his brother's side. And I could see him joining Cobra Kai. He does seem like he would be an interesting Cobra Kai member if he gets trained with some Quicksilver techniques. I can't be friends with someone who did a home invasion in my house. I know that's a weird side right there, Killmonger. I know that you're going on the line there that I can't really be friends with someone that breaks into my house. Chance says, does Cobra Kai make you want to watch the Karate Kid movies? No, it doesn't, funny enough. Because I've seen the Karate Kid movies, all of them, so much, especially the first 3. I haven't seen Next Karate Kid as much, and I only saw the Jackie Jaden one once. Yeah, once. I was on vacation. I remember being in a hotel room watching it. But it was like one of those movies that was available for free on the hotel pay-per-view thing. And when you're in a hotel, you're like, I'll watch it. I'll check this out. And it was all right. It was too long. But I would say, but I definitely, I especially like Jackie Chan in it. And Jane Smith was good too. He worked in the part. I think it should have just been some people laugh at this. I just think it should have been inspired by the Karate Kid. We have, the Kung Fu intersection or something. I don't know. It's just didn't need to be called the Karate Kid personally, but that could be its own video into itself. So no, because I've seen those movies so much, and I feel like Cobra Kai, the series, does a better job of this than other things do. Joe and I were talking a little bit about this in the actual review. Cobra Kai is able to show me clips from the movies and make it not be awkward or not seem like cloying and like they're trying to make me feel something. It actually works in the moment in the show, and it adds to the scenes, and it gives me everything I need from the other movies. But I got to say that seeing Cobra Kai 4, season 4, has made me want to go back and watch Karate Kid 3 again to see Terry and see some connective tissue, and then also get a little Barnes stuff. But, excuse me, those first 2 movies, and I would say the third one to a certain extent, but the first 2 I've seen so much. And I feel like, if anything, Cobra Kai makes the Karate Kid movies seem quaint. In like a different era, and like you're looking back on something that didn't really happen. So I feel like the show does a good enough job to show me all the context moments. What I'd love to talk to somebody and love to have someone either call in, leave a message, leave a comment on this video or in one of the Cobra Kai videos. Somebody, and I know there's people out there that have seen Cobra Kai and like Cobra Kai, but haven't seen the movies. And especially at this point with season 4. I'm sure by season 4 now you've seen them, but at least like for a while watching them. It reminds me of, one of the shows we're going to be talking about here on the channel, Better Call Saul. There are people that watch Better Call Saul that have never seen Breaking Bad. one of my best friends is one of them. Joe and I's third best friend in our little, three-way friend group here. Not that we have a larger friend group, but you know what I mean. Like, you have people that consider my bestest friends. My friend Nick, he has seen Better Call Saul. He hasn't really been able to get into Breaking Bad, which seems really fucking weird to me. But it exists. Tori's the bad girl. No pick. I wish Netflix still had the movies, but they're gone now. I've seen them, but I haven't rewatched them. I pick nothing. Nothing. So let me listen to a little bit back more of this. 3 big fights. Are we going to have another big fight between Sam and... No, I agree with that part of what Douchebag Phil said. Douchebag Phil makes a good point there. I don't think... This fight between Sam and Tori. So the only different thing to do with them is to start making them okay with each other. No, that's just not being creative in your thinking, Phil. And I'm not talking to myself in third person. I'm talking to, listen, past asshole. I'll call him asshole, so I'm not saying Phil. No, I think you're just not being creative enough in thinking what the writers could do with the two characters. I agree with what you said, with what I said, in the sense of they're not going to make it as simple as they just have another fight. I think you're going to see more interactions. If they do fight, it's going to be more like the fight that you get at the prom with the two of them. Not so much like a full fight like in the school fight or the home invasion or the tournament. In those 3 situations, you got straight up, here we go, one-on-one fight. I think it's going to be more passing interactions when the tension boils up. But I think if I was to make this video again, I would say something more along the lines of what I just said, that Tori is going to be in conflict. She's going to want to try to repair a relationship with Sam, but she's going to be stuck with working with Terry because he owns a piece of her soul, essentially. And it's the Darth Vader, the Anakin, fucking Emperor Palpatine. Couldn't think of the name Palpatine. Whole dynamic where it's, you want to psycho? How's Padme? Like, she's going to want to keep her brother. Oh my goodness. Let me see. I'm getting some messages and texts. Let's see. I see my text message right here. Hey, are we good for tomorrow? Oh, yes, we are. But sorry, I'm trying to, yes, to that person that just texted me. Yes, absolutely. I do think that we're going to get Mike Barnes in the next season. I do. So I was like reading a text message. And I was like, Phil, Mike Barnes, ? Yes, we're going to get Mike Barnes. So let's listen back to what, so yes, I think I wasn't being creative enough in my thoughts, and I do think that I don't think they're going to full on be friends next season. I think that Tori's going to be trying to deflate the conflict as much as humanly possible. And Amanda's going to be kind of pushing that along too, but I think Tori is going to be like Anakin under Padme, under the manipulation of Terry Palpatine here. And he's going to have such a hand up her ass and forcing her to be his puppet next season a lot of the time. So let's listen to another voicemail we have from Jay. As I mentioned, if anyone wants to call in and leave a phone call about your predictions or about anything to do with Cobra Kai, you can do that at 781-990-8509. And that includes anyone watching this later. If you're watching this at a different time and you're like, I really hate everything this guy is saying and I want to leave a message about it, or I like what you're saying, or you're being kind of ignorant, let me educate you. Any of those above or something else. Someone wants to send me some dye so I don't stop looking like Santa Claus here. Whatever. You can do that, and I can play it on the next Cobra Kai stream that we do, because I'm going to be doing, even once the buzz wears off of this Cobra Kai stuff, I'm still probably going to do a series of videos and streams throughout the year about Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai coverage is not going away. I'm going to stick around with it all year round. Okay, so let's listen to Jay's new message here.
Did you Danielson expressed very clearly that he had stakes for entering the goddamn tournament. He told Miyagi that they had him hanging on a goddamn cliff, and if he didn't sign it, they were gonna drop him, and Miyagi still wouldn't train him. So, while we agree on everything else, the one thing we totally disagree on, Danielson communicated very effectively how much danger Mike Barnes was trying to put her in and pressure Mike Barnes was trying to put him into that tournament. Miyagi just didn't give a fuck.
I guess you're right, Jay. I guess I'm kind of I'm pushing more emotional care about Miyagi. Miyagi got pissed off and kind of was everyone wants to look at Daniel being a dick in that movie, but Miyagi was a little bit of a dick to Daniel when he was begging for help. I remember at one point in the movie where Daniel's like in his room, like coming to his room, and he's like, "Help me, I'm getting my ass kicked. This other thing, I can't do anything. This guy owns me." And Miyagi just closes the door on him. Or when Daniel does something really big for Miyagi, and Miyagi starts making fun of him in front of his not girlfriend. So I mean, I feel like Daniel again. I'd have to rewatch. It's been a couple months since I've watched it. I did watch it in preparation for the final season, but it has been a while, and I was like doing other things while I was watching. So I kind of want to watch back for that with that purpose of like, I feel like Daniel was trying to be tough, and there was a lot of lack of communication between the two of them going on in that. But I think maybe you're right here. I think I might have my head far up my ass on this one. I know exactly. Peter Griffin in the live chat. I gotta watch part 3 again now. I want to go home, and I gotta watch now. Let me pour myself one more shot for the to toast up one more to Jay for getting this one right. Jay, I think I'm full of shit on this one. Toast to you, buddy. Exactly, Pete. We'll wait. Pete Griffin. We'll wait for the rewatch stream for that one where we could have Jay call us in there. How about Hawk? Do you see him and Dimitri staying with Miyagi-Do? He did bring the trophy home to Miyagi-Do. Yes, I think those two stay in Miyagi-Do, and I wonder. That is a good speculation question because I don't really deal with that in the video, but wondering what Hawk and Dimitri's storyline is going to be in the next season. I feel like this year did an interesting job of separating the wheat from the chaff, or is that what that expression is? Like sifting out some of our lesser characters that weren't as important, that maybe got a little bit too much screen time in the last season, to dedicate to who our most important characters are, right? And Dimitri and Hawk's friendship is back full run. I don't know if so much of the next year will be dealing with Hawk dealing with the fallout of being the champion now and starting to get stuff he wants again, developing his relationship with, what's her name? Moon? Is that her name? Moon? And all of that stuff. But, yeah, Jay, full credit when credit is due. Jay's been one of our best callers and awesome FOPs, friend to Phil, friend of the show, for a long time. And Joe and I, or myself, or Tony, when Tony's on, we like to give Jay, stuff when we're right about stuff. But I'll say I have my head far up on my ass on this one. He's got the fucking pulse on Karate Kid 3 right now. I'm talking shit. Hawk will probably be a better Chosen student. He's a mix of offense and defense. I think when we get Chosen involved, that's where we're going to get some of those dynamics. But I think a lot of Hawk's season is going to be more personal than karate. He is going to be training. He's going to be going through and all of that. But I think we may get some double dates with Moon and Yasmin and Hawk and Dimitri. We might see some dynamics of that. I don't know if they're going to be background-ish characters and just soldiers in the armies for the most part. Also, some of the Chosen thing with Chosen showing up. Is Chosen a way of sneaking out of the bet? Or is Daniel basically just going to say, fuck you, I don't care? Like, by Chosen showing up, and if Chosen is their teacher, and Daniel's a student too, is that lawyer tricking the whole situation? I don't know. So, I think Hawk and Dimitri will probably have I personally just think they're going to have more of secondary action character stuff dealing with the outcome of being, Hawk being the champion and dealing with the crap that the Cobra Kai people are still going to give because they won, and dealing with that danger that's going to be happening at the school and all that interactive type of stuff. So I think it's still going to be, even though Hawk is the champion, he still can't get away with the fact that everyone kind of hates him. And he has problems with a lot of people that are going to be coming out and getting him. So I think him and Dimitri will be Batman and Robin a lot during the season. Hawk went from, Pick Your Poison says, Hawk went from full emo all season to champ in one episode because of the power of pussy. Sorry, I don't know why I said power of pussy like Mortal Kombat. That makes me want to sing a song, and I wish I had the audio of Power of Love right now. The power of pussy is a curious thing. Make Hawk a champion with a karate against a karate ring. Make something stars. That's right. It's the power of puss. It's the power of puss. Don't take money. Don't take no fame. Don't take no karate training to win this game. Oh my goodness. Hey Mandrell, great to see Mandrell in the live chat. Sorry, I was going down. My brain was redictifying a whole Weird Al song to Power of Love with Power of Pussy. So Pick Your Poison. Could you, I'm going to email this is going to take 1 second, everybody. I'm sorry, just because I'm going to have to, I want to do this because I want to remind myself later to do this, and I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So I am going to compose an email to myself and paste that comment and put it and send it to myself. So I can write that song later and put that out about, and play that on the show later about how Hawk actually won. The power of La Pusso. I might have to call it La Pusso just for the humor in the song, Peter Griffin. We got Monty in the live chat too. Great to see you guys. And great to see Mandrell in the live motherfucking chat. It's one of my New Year's resolutions to get Mandrell actually on the show in the next year, doing something. So good to have Mandrell in the chat though, and we'll figure something out. One of these fucking shows that's coming up to get you on one of these nights, or if I do another drunk roundtable stream kind of thing, I'll make sure I get you in. I've been wanting to get Mandrell on for a year now, a year and a half. I've been but I haven't really been doing this as much with moving twice and all that sort of shit. So now that I'm settled in a little bit, I gotta schedule some shit. Yeah, move over, power of Grayskull. It's the power of La Pusso. Okay, so thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. If you're watching this and please hit that like button. Helps it get out to more people. More people get notified. So let's play another voicemail. This is from area code 573. And again, if you want to call in at 781-990-8509. I know. I got the Bobby Boucher wedding singer. Let me find myself here a little bit. My favorite wedding singer song is the and it was all bullshit. It's all a fucking joke. And when I think of you, Linda, you make me fucking choke. Sorry. Okay, let's continue here.
TJ Evans.
Hey, TJ.
I'm from Missouri, and
welcome.
I want to say that I don't know if Hawk's gonna have spiky hair. I want to know if Hawk, if you think Hawk will have spiky hair in season 5, and that's it.
Thank you so much for calling in. Great to have you. Great first time caller from Missouri. And do I think Hawk will have the spiky hair back? Not exactly, but I do expect him to have some sort of unique something. His confidence will come from Moon, I think, more than the spiky hair. But I said no. My instinct was to say no. It'll be something different. But it will. I mean, they did say it would grow back. He will. Okay, I'm going back on my word. just be fair. I say no to everything first until I actually think about it. Yes, we will get Hawk with a Hawk again before the end of the series. It will happen. I see. We got a couple of litters of that, and a couple of things popped in my head when you asked that question. We got somebody saying to Hawk, Dimitri saying it will grow back. And then we have Moon before she makes out with him and the power of pussy takes over and he wins the tournament. I'm going to win this whole fucking thing. Knowing that he's going to get some action later in that day. She said, I was loving your hair. I was loving the purple. I was loving the color. So my instinct was thinking that he'll just have purple hair. But I do think we're going to get the Hawk back at some point. It's too synonymous with the character at this point. And a couple of people have said it will grow back and seeing and hearing hints to it and such. So yes, I think we'll get some sort of time jump maybe at some point in time and he'll come back with the Hawk back. It'll be a cold day before I represent Mazara. John Haymaker. I love you, John Haymaker. So perfect, Mandrell. Awesome, buddy. We will talk about, I think I have your email. That's the contact information I have for you. I don't think I'm actually connected with you on any like social media type stuff, but email me if you got any of those fucking things. Instaface something motherfucker, one of those things. I'll add you on there for simpler communication, though we can trade numbers so I can communicate with you easier. But I know you got my email because I've emailed with you before. Anyways, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, and he's got a giant fucking... Thank you, Jake Cruz. I love when I overcomplicate stuff and then someone in the live motherfucking chat like simplifies it and he's got a fucking hawk tattooed on his back. I mean, that alone means he's probably going to get the hawk back at some point in time. Back in my day. He has to let the hair go. It's not the same once you get it taken away. Very true, Killmonger. Killmonger with a different take. He has to let it go. He cut the hair and he won. He can't go back. He's got to go. He's got to go forward. I love when I'm pausing right now to stop my Boston accent from coming out more, as I'm starting to get a little buzzy, and I've had hippie activities for the first time today, and I'm drinking pop. Trust me, when you're as hyper ridiculous fucking crackhead as me, you don't need caffeine. And I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I used to drink Coca-Cola like it was crack. I mean, we need to get into it. I used to drink like about 2 liters of Coca-Cola a day. And then I switched to Coke Zero. And I drank even more Coke Zero. I drank like a 12 pack every 2 days. I was mad addicted to Coke. And not the kind of Coke that Terry Silver's doing. I mean like Coca-Cola Coke. And I would just drink. Oh my goodness, I had fucking problems. And then when I went into the hospital and I had some surgery a couple of years ago, those of you that are close to the channel may know I don't want to go down that road. This isn't meaning to be sad. But I had some stuff, and when I got out of that, I decided to use it as an opportunity to quit drinking Coke. So I wiped soda out of my life, and I went all full on like water and salsas and fruit juices, and you know, fruit juice is not really good for you. But whatever. I went that route. You know, I was like, no more soda. Done with the Coke. Done with caffeine forever. So then I'd say about about 9 months ago or something, I was like, you know what? I can have it a little. Just a little. And I go out and get myself the Mexican Cokes with the cane sugar instead of the whatever. Not like it makes that much of a difference, but it tastes more like the Coke I knew when I was a kid. So now I've had like a 4-pack for 6 months, you know, and I'm down to 2 now. So I probably drink 1 Coke every few months, or when I'm really tired before a podcast or something. And I was feeling a little out of it earlier today, so I decided to drink some Coke before. So trust me, I don't need caffeine. Okay. I drink coffee in the morning and I vape nicotine. Who defeated Kyler? Wasn't it Hawk? Yes, Hawk fucked him up. Carrie Underwood fucked up that whole tournament for me. Basically what happened was, leading up to Hawk's fight with Kyler was talking shit and getting under his head. He started calling him Lip again, and Hawk was really almost looking like he just accepted defeat at that point in this dojo. And we know that there's no defeat in this dojo. So at that point in time is when Moon came down and gave her his, the Adrian pep talk, gave him the kiss and told him everything's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. And that's when the bump, music came in and he said, I'm going to win this whole fucking thing. And that's where he beat Kyler right there. He beat Kyler very simple. He was all controlled and they just showed how much better he was than Kyler. And he got 3 very quick points on him. Oh yeah, I remember that Claire shit. It was actually Claire Pepsi Sonic. It was fucking gross. And they re-released that every once in a while. And they actually, speaking of Coke, things that came out in the 80s, they re-released some new Coke with the Stranger Things box set, I believe, or something. I think if you look on YouTube, there's like a lot of new Coke taste test stuff, and it all came from the Stranger Things box set. I believe came with like a can of new Coke because they drink it on the show. But yeah, it was clear Pepsi, and it was fucking gross. It was right around the time everything was clear. Like, I mean, I believe, and I could be, but sometimes your memories of childhood kind of all bunched together. But in my mind, I feel like it was a similar time when like Zima came out. And like it was like, oh, there's Zima came out first, and then there was Clear Pepsi, and then there was Clear Tab, and then all the Pepsi stuff. Clear Tab is maybe the grossest soda ever put in a bottle ever. I remember being at some girl's house I was dating, and she was babysitting. Jamie was her name, and she was babysitting, and they didn't have anything to drink in the house except for Clear Tab, and I was smoking, and my throat was hurting, and I needed to drink something, and so I drank some Clear Tab. And I'm pretty sure I went in the hospital not soon after that with some kidney problems. I'm pretty sure it was the Clear Tab's problem. But I feel like, oh, no worries. It was so horrible. I don't blame you for blocking out the specifics of whether it was Pepsi or Coke. But it was a cesspool of disgustingness. And Zima came out a little bit around there. And I know that Zima has its fans, but for me, what Zima was liquid heartburn. When I drank a Zima, it wasn't like the seltzers you get now or Bacardi Breezers. I actually like those, or the vodka bullshits you can get now, the little cans of the base mix drinks you could get. Zima, to me, and I think they re-released it too, so I haven't tried it again, but as a kid, and even as a kid, like when I was drinking when I was like 15, 16 years old, yeah, I know. Don't drink when you're young. I don't know why I was air quoting that, but whatever. When I was drinking when I was a kid, I didn't drink beer. I drank fruity drinks like those Bartles and James wine coolers. I fucking love those things. Those and Bacardi Breezers, like the first 20 times I got drunk as a kid was on those things. I fucking loved those when I was a kid. They probably would be off Boone's Farm wine. People might not know what the fuck Boone's Farm is, but Boone's Farm wine, I drank the shit out of that stuff too. I just didn't like beer, and I didn't really like hard alcohol either at the time. So anything I tried to drink was, because honestly, all that was really available for beer at the time in my world was Budweiser or like Coors Banquet. Sorry, Johnny, I'm Daniel on this one. I'm going to look at you down for drinking your fucking Coors crap. Not that I don't like it. So the Bartles and James wine coolers and Bacardi Breezers, I was fucking. But Zima, and I was all excited when I was like, oh, it's going to be like alcoholic Sprite. Let me get that stuff. And it was like fucking liquid fire. It just gave me like at 15 years old, I had the worst heartburn in the world from drinking fucking Zima. Vanilla Coke is the fucking bomb, dude. I live in Europe. All the soda is boring here. Too much regulations. We had a soda called Sun Drop. It was like a laxative. Vanilla Coke is fucking delicious. My preferred soda is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is fun. I like Dr. Pepper as well. Very good stuff. Okay. So I should do a whole podcast on soda. I really could. I thought everyone in Boston drank Sam Adams, dude. We do. They give it to us as a kid. They're like, take some fucking Sam's, dude. Drink some fucking Sam's, work at the fucking gas station and smoke some fucking Marlboros. Some Marlboro Golds, dude, up here in fucking Boston. That's right. Actually, my stepfather really does talk like that. Some people I know do. My stepfather, my old drummer in my band, they actually do specifically talk exactly like that. But everyone in my particular town, it more comes out occasionally, like when we're angry and yelling. Joe probably has a thicker one than I do, but hey, that's what she said. That's what Katie said. But mine comes out a lot too, especially in certain words. And Sam's all right. I like Sam Summer. Is the Sams I like, dude. Fucking okay. I gotta get back to working at fucking market basket here, dude, and fucking smoke some fucking Marlboros. So let's listen. Let's finish things up here with my last vanilla Coke is fucking good. Vanilla Coke tastes really good mixed with coconut rum. Coconut rum and vanilla Coke. I highly recommend that mix. It's fucking good. They complement, or just rum in general with vanilla Coke. It's a very tasty combination in building the friend. But yeah, Killmonger, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction has so much to do with so much of my life in the 90s. I must have said Royale with cheese. No. But if you think about it's like The Simpsons and Pulp Fiction are probably the most 90s things ever. Friendship. Number 3, Mike. I will be talking about the Ray Donovan movie when that comes out as well, by the way. Being the friend. I love Ray Donovan, dude. Fucking Donovans. Friendship. Number 3, Mike Barnes is coming. Mike Barnes is coming. Who's this? Are you saying Mike Barnes is orgasming all over Cobra Kai season 5? Is that what you're saying? Passed in a can? Way too. I don't even know. Professor asshole Phil over here. We all heard Terry say it. He knows someone. He's gonna have someone help him at the end of the season, and I think we all. Okay, so let me dial this back a little bit. Sorry, I'm going a little bit of an aside here about booze, but you are 100% correct, real YT, about that. Coconut rum tastes good with everything, actually. Sprite too. Coconut rum, Sprite, and Blue Carousel makes Romulan ale for Star Trek fans. It's blue, it's bubbly, and it's great. Killmonger, Pulp Fiction made me eat a cheeseburger upside down. I'll never look at the name Zed again. Mike Barnes is coming. We all heard Terry say it. He knows someone. He's going to have someone help him at the end of the season. And I think we all know who that is. Johnny? It's Karate's bad boy. The show creators are his biggest fans. Sorry, I like ripping myself apart. Did you guys hear that punch in that I obviously recorded at a different time? Actually, I didn't record it at a different time. I was just so loud saying, it's Karate's bad boy. I just had to take the volume down in that one particular part. Let's listen back on how stupid I sound here. Are as big of fans of this universe as we are. Maybe even more. And they love to play that who will win. All know who that is. It's Karate's bad boy. The show creators are as big of fans of this universe as we are. Maybe even more. And they love to play that who will win fight game. And I think without a shadow of... So here it is. This is my biggest prediction or whatever that I have for season 5 of Cobra Kai. Not biggest prediction, whatever. The thing I'm guaranteeing that's going to fucking happen in one of the next 2 seasons of Cobra Kai that Chosen is on. Of a doubt, the number one thing I'm so confident about in the next season, that we will get a fight between Chosen and Mike Barnes. As many people have thought about that and talked about what Daniel San's toughest opponent was in the original trilogy. Okay, I can't say it better than I say it there, but I will, obviously try because I'm annoying. I think there's no chance we don't get that. I think these writers are such fans of the Karate Kid series and such fans of all of that nonsense, those discussions, who would fight who would win here, because we've gotten every question we've wanted pretty much answered already. They've showed us everything. That we got a fight between, the only thing we haven't seen yet is Terry versus Daniel. We haven't seen that. Excuse me for 1 second, everybody. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you. I need some water. Samuel L. Jackson beer will fucking fuck you. Will fucking fuck you up. But we've seen almost every combination of fights that we've wanted to see. We've seen Daniel and Johnny fight several times in the series. In fact, a full legitimate rematch. We saw Johnny versus Terry. We saw Johnny versus Kreese. We saw twice, 2 big fights. A couple other weird interactions, but 2 like full-on fights to the death almost. We saw Daniel versus Kreese. We've seen every combination of the kids fight that we want to see. We've seen pretty much everything that we want to see in combinations of the characters that we've been presented combination fighting. Maybe we haven't seen Kreese and Terry fight, which I bet we will eventually on the show. So if they're bringing Chosen in, which they are, that's guaranteed. If the end of the season, like it's not a question. Chosen's probably going to be in the entire next season. Maybe not every episode, but it seems like they were introducing him as a main character for the next season. I'm assuming. But at least he's going to be there. And we've got 2 drops for Mike Barnes this season. One with Amanda when Daniel's talking about, are there any other karate people that might be coming to get you? And he says, no. Oh yeah, maybe. That. And we got Terry at the end where I know a few people I can call. So Barnes is coming. And if they're bringing Karate's bad boy and Chosen is there too, they know everyone's talked about, who is Daniel's toughest opponent. It doesn't make sense that he gets into a fight to the death with Chosen here and then fights the tournament in the next movie and he's getting his ass kicked by this guy. It seems like Chosen should be able to kick Mike Barnes' ass. But are we going to get that? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that fight. But I do know that question's been asked too much in Karate Kid circles even before Cobra Kai. That question, I remember having that conversation in school with other people when Karate Kid 3 came out. What the fuck just fell? I'm like, I just heard something fall. What the fuck just fell? But I've had that back in the day. I remember having that conversation where when Karate Kid 3 came out, I was like, Chosen would kick this guy's ass. But would he? How good is Mike Barnes? How good is Chosen now? We will find out next season, and I will do a whole video talking just about that, breaking apart who I think is going to win the fight and why. And we'll get into that, but it's going to happen. I would be very, very shocked if they don't have them fight at some point in the next season. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. So what other kind of bullshit do I say here before we start to end things here tonight? And I know it's years later and they're different fighters at this point, but we're still going to get that answer in a sense to see Mike Barnes and Chosen face off at some point this season. That's it? Here's a bonus one. It's not really a show prediction.
It's not.
Season 5. Why are you talking about it, you fucking idiot?
And concluded and wrapped.
Sorry, this is too bizarro. I think the rest of what I say is what I talked about earlier. The season. Just spilt vodka on my phone. That's good. That Mike Barnes is included in that next season is going to be out before New Year's because it has already wrapped. And I just think that we very easily could see a Cobra Kai coming out in the fall. Maybe late summer, but I seriously doubt that. I think if it's going to come out, it's early. It will come out Thanksgiving or something like that, around that time period. But yeah, I totally just spilt a whole shot of vodka on my phone. At least my phone's clean now. And I don't have anything to wipe it up, so Cloth Goofy is getting real drunk right now. Oh my goodness. Spilling water's one thing, but spilling vodka could actually cause damage. Yes, the actor that plays Mike Barnes he's actually on a show right now, I believe. We can take a look at that. Mike Barnes, Karate Kid. Mike Barnes, the Karate Kid. And his name is Sean Cannon, whatever. He's in The Bold and the Beautiful right now, the television series. So he's a soap opera actor now. He's in a series called Studio City. Let's look at what he's done since. He's done a lot of stuff. He looks like he's steadily worked. Yeah. It looks like he has nothing big. No big movies that I'm looking at. He's made his early part of his career in, he was on a Who's the Boss episode. He was in the Outsiders TV show. He was in a bunch of Perry Mason stuff. He was on Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. He was on The Nanny. And these are all singular 1 or 2 appearances. His first big part in something, or more than just a few episodes, in 1999, he was in 54 episodes of something called Sunset Beach that I do not remember. Then he was in Chaos Factor, Crash Point Zero, a bunch of other stuff I haven't really heard about, probably smaller movies, TV movies. He was a guest host of something called Acme Saturday Night. He was on The Young and the Restless, 122 episodes of Young and the Restless. Desperate Housewives, blah, blah, blah. The Bay, 3 episodes of something called The Bay. 134 episodes of General Hospital. Okay, so that's what he is. Yes, Mike Barnes has been in a lot of stuff. He's been in over 100 episodes. Oh, shit, in The Bold and Beautiful, he's in 720 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful. So people want to know what Mike Barnes has been up to with Karate. Karate's Bad Boy is a soap opera actor. How did I not know this? It's because my soap operas that I watch are late night soap operas. Are soap operas like 90210 or Dawson's Creek or any of those kind of soap operas. Sons of Anarchy, that's a soap opera. But he was in 720 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful. Oh my fucking God. So Jake Cruz, to answer your question, yes. I gotta pour another fucking shot. But John Haymaker only watches Spanish novellas. I love you guys. You guys in the live chat make this so much more fun for me. Thank you so much. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of other random things, but his 3 biggest things are Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, and Young and the Restless, but also The Bay, Youthful Days, Studio City, 11 episodes of Studio City. And he's going to be in something called The Bubble. That's post-production. And 2 other things. So he's been in 65 acting credits. I'm Cobra Kai. Can I come up with a couple of jokes about him being in... yeah, I'm sure Cobra Kai will come up with a couple of jokes about him being in soap operas. I 100% think that will happen. And or Daniel will... They'll do something with that's what Mike Barnes has been doing. Mike Barnes is like a poster boy of some kind and doing like cheesy things that not quite soap operas. Maybe they'll even make Mike Barnes as part of, does some cheesy karate show of some kind. Phil, I know someone who did do soap operas. Best joke of the season. Ooh. There's a lot of something Johnny said. Johnny had a lot. This was Johnny's best season for jokes and awkward Johnniness since season 1. He's had a lot in the other 2 seasons too, but this season he's had a lot. I wish I could think of one right off the top of my head, but there was a couple that just had me like out loud cackle laughing at 4 o'clock in the morning watching this thing, being up all night. One of the montages when he's training for the Daniel fight, and he's just like pushing people, punching and knocking people over. I know those aren't specific jokes. Some of the eagles don't do this. So there's a lot. I'd have to, let me get back to you on that one. I'm going to think about that one. Soap operas must pay good money. Them cats there for a long time. Dude, I got to be honest. I like acting. I do. I've done it a bunch, in the sense of like, I haven't really had the chance to do any independent filmy kind of stuff, but I've done a lot of plays, right? I'm not a good actor by any way, shape, or form. I'm not like The Walking Dave. The Walking David's good. Who's connected to our show. He's an actual good actor. I'm okay at playing a version of me or playing like certain select other kinds of characters, like pompous dickweeds, overly stupid, certain things I can play. Versions of myself. But my dream, fucking, no matter how much I hate this, would be get a fucking job on like General Hospital or some shit. Fuck. That is like a dream acting job. So cheers to Mike Barnes, Sean, for keeping the career going and being on so many goddamn things. Let's see what some of your favorite jokes are. It's the Johnny show as far as I'm concerned. Daniel, where were you? Johnny, no be there. That was a very fun moment. Probably my funniest line was somewhere in the first 5 episodes when Johnny and Daniel were together, because I said this in my review. I think it was one of the first things I said. The first half of the season was like taking the bar scene and the restaurant scene and any interaction Johnny and Daniel had in the previous seasons and giving us a whole half a season of it. So there were so many amazing jokes. Oh, yes, with him and Anthony Jr. He's like, what'd you switch over to Junior Whopper? Still a little fucking dick. That was good. Him and that actor, I hope they have more to do. I hope Daniel can't reach him, and because the only way he reached him was through doing a little bit of Eagle Fang shit in his face, that he sicks Johnny on that kid. And we get a whole episode next year that's dedicated to Johnny training Lapusso. I would fucking love it. Jay Cruz says, I know be there. He teaches you with family century. Yes. He no be there. He teaches you his family century-old karate, and you can't help him with English. I haven't watched Yellow Jackets yet, so I'm not doing anything yet with that. But maybe if Joe watched it, we'll do a roundabout about that. Or if I have Tony on at some point in time, we'll talk to Tony about that, as I know he watched it, and I'm not sure if he's covering it on his channel, but he might have some stuff to say about it. So maybe we could do something over here about it. Did you know the family psychiatrist? Oh, thank you for mentioning that, Peter Griffin, because it's the one point in all my coverage so far of Cobra Kai. In the 2.5 hours Joe and I talked, the 2 hours I talked and another 2 hours tonight, that I still haven't fucking mentioned that the My Cousin Vinny girl, excuse me. The Mona Lisa Vito girl was Ralph Macchio's real life daughter. She was loving every moment of that scene playing, and it makes those scenes even funnier, thinking about that she was ragging on their parenting. So she's good. She's funny. I hope she shows up next season if it's organic enough, and I hope to see more from her. I hope this is a jump off point to get her more parts. I'd have to look her up and see if she's in other things, but she looks a lot like fucking Ralph Macchio, and yeah, fuck. I can't believe I didn't notice it, that she looks so much like Ralph Macchio, but she does. And that was her. That's his daughter. And she said his parenting sucked. It was great. It was really great. Does anyone know what Ralph Macchio's daughter's name is? Like what her first name is? Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. I want to see if she's in anything else. Ralph Macchio daughter's name. See, I can't just type without saying it out loud. Julia Macchio. So let's see. Julia. Does Julia Macchio have a IMDb? Julia Macchio. See, again, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I have to. Julia Macchio. IMDb. Do it. Where is it, you fucking assholes? Let's see what else Julia Macchio has been in, if anything. Oh my goodness, that is a very good picture of her on her IMDb page. Golly. Ralph Macchio, if it's in no surprise to anyone, Ralph Macchio's daughter is also fucking beautiful, but whatever. Okay, she's in the movie called Lucy Oh no, excuse me. She wasn't in Lucy. She was in a movie called Girl Most Likely. She was in a short in 2013 called Across Grace Alley, Wholly Broken, a TV movie, Stella's Last Weekend, and now Cobra Kai. So she hasn't been in a lot. She's been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So, and she hadn't done any acting since 2018. So, and she did something in 2012, 2013, then took 5 years off, 2018 again, and now 2021. So, yeah. So maybe this will be a jump off point. I could see her doing something else. All jokes aside, I wouldn't mind seeing her play Marissa Tomei's daughter in something. But she was great. She was really great. How old is she? She's born in, I saw it a second ago. I think she was born in, it said 92. So she is, I can't do math. Oh no, it should be easy. It's because it's 2020, because it's 2022. So she was born in 92. She is, she's 30, right? Is she 30? Is my someone tell me if my math is wrong, right? She's 30, right? If she's born in 1992, that makes her 30. You see the embarrassment? Ask me who starred in a random movie. You know, who starred in who's the real star of the Julia Roberts movie Satisfaction? It was Justine Bateman, where they played rock and roll. Whatever. Or I can mention random 80s movies, but yes, she's 30, and to couple with the Ralph Macchio-ness of it, she's 30 years old and she looks 19. Because the Macchios don't age. Okay, so let's start to finish things off here a little bit. I think we have a text. Unless this is. Let's see. Did I watch any? I have not watched the new season of it yet, Jay. And I do need to catch up. I've just been busy with a lot of other shows. It's definitely on the list, and I enjoyed it. And I'm watching it more for pleasure here and there, but I'm excited for it as well. So I don't think there's much else to talk about tonight about some predictions and thoughts that I have for the next year. I think we talked about, I am wrong about most things, Merle. Merle, you're right about that I'm wrong about lots of stuff. So, and I'm sure I'll be wrong about some of the stuff that I predicted or talked about tonight. But the one thing's for sure that, oh my God, I spilt more vodka. One thing's for sure that I don't even care. I didn't spill it on my phone or my computer or anything. I'm just pissed about wasting it. I feel like Ted Stryker. I have a drinking problem right now. My drinking problem is I can't drink fast enough because I keep spilling it all. I need some karate training is what I need, really, folks. Is I need some fucking karate training. So the last thing to really talk about predictions-wise for this final season, or for the season 5 of Cobra Kai, was basically what I was saying before. When is it coming? And I think it is coming sooner rather than later. We don't have to wait till a whole other year. I think we're going to get it late fall. Late fall, early winter is my speculation. Anything else? Any other questions or comments before we end things here? That's about Cobra Kai season 5 predictions. I'm trying to think if there's any characters I have. Sam. I haven't specifically talked Sam's storyline. I wonder how Sam is going to handle the dynamic when Miguel's gone. I think I like that they kind of kept them together and they didn't break them up. They just had a couple of issues here and there, but nothing that they couldn't work out. I need some Bartles and James with a straw is what I need, really. I need to keep booze away from me right now is the truth. It's the truth, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking this out tonight. Please, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching this later and you have specifically something you want me to talk more about Cobra Kai, please leave it in the comment section below or call in and leave a voicemail, 781-990-8509. Thank you so much to our super chatters tonight. It means more than you know. And thank you so much to our voicemail callers, Jay, and to our first-time caller from Missouri, from area code 573, TJ Evans. Thank you so much for calling on in and joining the fun. I did talk a little bit about Bob Saget at the beginning, but I was stuttery, as with most of my podcasts. Like, it takes me a good half an hour when I'm by myself or even when I have a guest, to warm up before I'm actually making any sense. But at the end here, we're going to do one more toast for Bob Saget. Bob Saget, I got to see him do stand-up once live. I didn't mention that earlier. Hilarious dude that is one of the most dirty comedians ever, that I can't believe, because he was such a nice guy, because everyone liked Bob Saget. And he was a talented dude. He played music as well. But because everyone liked him, in the set, like everybody, everyone from the top, like, look at how many people are reacting. Bob Saget was a nice guy. I spent time with Bob Saget. This guy did that, this thing, that thing, whatever. He met Josh Radnor on How I Met Your Mother. They became closest friends and go out all the time. Freaking every actor or comedian you could imagine saying nothing but great things about fucking Saget. Because of that, he simultaneously was America's household dad and the voice of America's Funniest Home Videos, and the dirtiest ass comedian, not even clever dirty. Like, okay, someone like Norm Macdonald, let's get into this here a little bit at the end. If you're here just for Cobra Kai, everyone, thank you so much. I'm going to babble for a few other topics right here. If you're looking at dirty comedians, there's straight up dirty, and then there's like dirty, subtle, get into your mind, interesting dirty, like Kinnison did, or Bill Hicks did, or some other guys, like they can really make it like almost intelligently fucking dirty. And then or even like Norm Macdonald, who was like on a different fucking level of like surreal dirtiness. Like he could be simple dirty too, but Saget wasn't very complex. Saget would be like, Weird Al is coming on my face. Oh my God, he's coming on my face. Weird Al has came on my face. There's splooge. There's Weird Al splooge. And guess what? The splooge from Weird Al is fucking weird, just as you would expect it. Like he's not he tells some funny jokes, but he is straight up just like dirty. While simultaneously being Danny fucking Tanner. And no one gives a shit. No one's like, this guy can't. No, everyone loves Saget. Here, you want to train the kids? Go train the kids, Saget. Everyone loves Saget. No, Richard Pryor said Bob was one of his favorites, so he had to be good. And I think that's the thing about Saget too. Even if you didn't find him funny, most comedians liked Saget. Saget and Gilbert Gottfried have like a very deep relationship. One of the funniest things he ever did was listen to Gilbert's podcast, and when they were on there, the Comedy Babylon thing, like you can just see how close of friends they are and how good they are. Like even people like Mark Maron, who is very snooty comedian, like that guy's not funny enough. I mean, Mark Maron doesn't even fucking like Jon Stewart, but he fucking loves Saget. Like everyone fucking does. No word on that Mandrell. I tried to make a joke earlier that one of his friends made in a tweet. There's no word of drugs. There's no word of foul play. So the only thing I can think is that it was auto asphyxiation. That he was jerking off and choking himself or something. It's got to be something like that. We're Saget we're talking about here. Just because he didn't enjoy the joke. But honestly, it's probably like a heart attack or something like that. The way it's sounding like heart attack, aneurysm, stroke type thing. And the hardest part of the whole story is he literally did a show the night before, and he like put out this tweet, and he's like been talking this whole week about, because he just started a new tour, and about everywhere he's going, and like he was in the hotel room after the show putting a tweet with a picture like, I just did a 2-hour set and I was fucking awesome. I realized it was 2 hours. Thank you, the audience. You're amazing. It's like, I think I might have it if my phone's not dead due to vodka, but I think I might have it in my pictures here. They took a picture. I took a picture of it, dude. And where is it? Yeah, it says This was his final tweet. He said, "Love tonight's show in Jacksonville. Again, appreciate the audience. This was like like hours before he got found dead. Thanks again for opening up to the guy who opened the shop. I had no idea I did a 2-hour set. I'm happily addicted again to this shit. Check Bob Saget Tom for things." And then they posted that picture. So, and it didn't look bad. I mean, maybe there's let's hope that it was something, I don't know. Everything that's looked so far, it's no foul play stuff. It just sucks. It just sucks, Betty White died of a stroke. I was going to mention heart problem. Yeah, it could have been heart issues. I mean, who knows? I mean, he has sucked a lot of dick for coke. I seen him. Do you ever suck dick for coke? You ever suck coke for some ever suck dick for some marijuana?
Hey Phil, did you ever watch any more episodes of Young Justice?
I haven't, Jay. I'm not sure if you heard my response to the text. I haven't yet, but I definitely will. I know I keep saying that, but I definitely will. I just got bombarded with a couple of shows that are coming up right now. But next breaking shows I get, I will catch up with some of those as well. Yeah, exactly. You never can tell. I'm sure all of that will come out. It is a credit to my age and how old I'm getting that I'm looking at 65 and be like, he was young. He's so fucking young. Too young. Someone like Saget, I thought, was just going to outlive us all. Like he's one of those dudes that's just going to be around making you laugh in his fucking, like so many of those old vaudevillian type of comedians or like Rickles or something like that, But I can't say as many times. I cannot say how many times Bob Saget made me laugh. I wouldn't say he was my favorite stand-up comedian in the world, or I thought, or I would put him on the list of like best comedians, but he was just such a multi-talented guy and just seemed like such a nice guy and had such an earnestness with his dirtiness that he just made you giggle so fucking much. And then obviously he was really good at schmaltzy emotional bullshit too, and just being goofy, and just had a really great, funny comic brain. I recently watched the Hot Ones episode he did, like the Hot Wings episode, YouTube series. If you haven't seen that, it's a good interview with him as well. So Terry Silver reminds me of a slicker version of Negan. I could see that, the way he talks shit, the way he has confidence, the way he rips apart someone mentally. I would say the difference is Negan at his core deep down is, I think, a pretty good person. People can laugh at me all they want at saying that. I think Negan did what he needed to do to survive in that world and use some of his skills, but at core, he's a fucking middle school gym teacher that's a pretty nice guy and cares about people. Cares about his family, cares about his wife, cares about, all that sort of shit. So, whereas I think Terry Silver is a weak guy that was manipulated by John Kreese for so long, then got daddy's money and daddy's company and became like a spoiled douchebag. But like the way they act, I see that. But I definitely think Negan's a better person. Betty White was also 99. It was old age that did her. I couldn't believe Saget would go this early. It hurts. I have to bail. Thanks for the video. Catch you later. Thank you, Jake. I'm ending things anyway in a moment here, Jake, but thank you so much. The scene from Ethan. Yeah. The scene from Tom. I forgot about that scene. But yeah, Saget's he's the perfect guy in the perfect situation, Like, he was really good in his bit part on fucking like Entourage and stuff, playing the fucked up version of Bob Saget, Like, that's the thing about Saget again. I think I was just going to say the stupidest thing. He was so good at being Bob Saget. It's just sad. Who does Danny LaRusso look like? It's driving me nuts. You mean, who does Ralph Macchio look like? Who does Ralph Macchio look like? Elvis? A little bit. No. He looks like that kid from My Cousin Vinny. No, I'm kidding. A little bit like Pacino, Scott Baio. I would say, and I mean young Pacino, like Godfather era Pacino. I would say Macchio looks like a cross between him and Scott Baio and maybe Henry Winkler a little bit too, or something like that kind of look. So I'm just naming random people you might be thinking that he reminds you of. But some of those people is who I would say. I know there was that jokes and times before Macchio got more popularity. I think him and Scott Baio used to make jokes back and forth about how they would be. Oh, Anthony. Okay, I'm sorry. Who does Anthony? Sorry, Jay. I said, you mean Lapusso? Who does Lapusso look like? Let me bring Lapusso up. Anthony Jr. Cobra Kai. Who does this kid look like? Okay. I love they're showing his I'm seeing some of his like looks from I'd have to think about that, but he does have a little bit of a similar look, okay. He's talking about the kid. He runs like a giant. Yes, Lapusso. Sorry, Jay. I'm like, I don't know. He looks like Macchio looks like Scott Baio. You're talking about Lapusso. Let me see. I'm trying to get a picture of Lapusso up here. I'm actually Googling Lapusso right here. That should do it. Just Google Lapusso should get his pictures up, right? It's weird. They don't have any pictures from him from season 4. They only have the ones I'm looking at are season 1 and season 2 pictures. Season 4. Let's get this kid up. How come they're not showing him? Sorry, I'm like trying to Google pictures of him and they're not fucking showing him. But let me try. Let me do this one. Window capture. Window capture 2. Let's see. So who does Anthony? Anyone? We'll have you guys put it in the comment section to try to help Jay out here. Anyone that's watching this video at any point in time or anyone that's watching right now, do you have any speculation on who he could start thinking, who he could think this kid looks like? I also agree he has a familiar look, but can't place the familiarity. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. This season is the most screen time he's ever had. He kind of looks like Corey Feldman in that picture. But I don't think that's not he doesn't look a lot like himself in that picture, but he kind of looks like Corey Feldman in that picture to me. There's a couple pictures of him just to kind of see. Oh, let's see Lapusso get his ass kicked. Oh, I could watch Lapusso get his ass kicked over and over again. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels good watching Lapusso get his ass kicked. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Monk Monty says Jake and Josh. Drives me nuts. But yes, everyone, let's help Jay out. If you're watching this at a later date, at some point in time, I'm clicking on the screen, on my actual screen like that, I can move it. Help him out to let him know who this kid looks like. Does he look like the Stranger Things kid? You know, the little bit Lapussa? I don't know. Okay. Lou Diamond Phillips, Sonic? One of the young guns? Perhaps? I love this scene when they take their shirts off. So Bloodsport. But he doesn't look like Drake. You're not Drake. Don't worry. You're not Drake. It's one of my favorite lines from season 1. Is it season 2? It was season 2. It's like, you can do anything you want. You can get girls like Drake. You're not Drake. Everybody, though, thank you so much. Like I said, if you enjoyed this silliness, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I should probably go. We're a little over 2 hours at this point. I don't want to keep you guys here for too long with my babbling, but I appreciate all of you guys joining me tonight. I will be back very, very soon for another stream. Probably this weekend with Joe doing something on Sunday night or Saturday night, or maybe a late night stream on Saturday. And after hours after dark copyright Teflon TV of some kind, maybe. But definitely check that out. You're getting that How I Met Your Mother You're getting that How I Met Your Mother video out that week. Possibly Peter Griffin. I'm going to work on that. That is absolutely a video I want to make. The How I Met Your Mother influence Cobra Kai video. And there's also some other video that, where's my Gmail, that someone mentioned earlier that I wanted to do. Where is that? And what was the other one was... the Power of the Pussy song. But no, that's gonna take longer. But yes, thank you so much, Peter Griffin. Keep me fucking honest here, dude. Always love your babbling. Take care. What If Wednesday? I don't think there will be a What If this Wednesday, Sonic. I think the What If probably will be back the following Wednesday. I think Teflon and LMR are probably going to finish up their final Dexter discussion on Wednesday night. But I think Tony wants to bring back What Ifs the following week. But if not in the next couple of weeks, very soon, definitely by the end of the month, beginning of the next month, once the sort of Dexter thing goes through, we will be back doing some Usual Suspects what if-y kind of stuff. Maybe even not just Game of Thrones stuff, but we might do some other what if kind of discussions here and there on different places and different things. So no, thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody. Toast to you. One more to Bob Saget, everybody. Bob Saget, toast wherever you are, wherever you're doing. Yeah, but Dexter just finished. This week was its last episode. And so I think Tony's still going to be covering it, but he won't be quite as busy with new episodes. So we'll probably get back to doing those soon. So everyone, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, kiss your friend. You guys are awesome. Peter Griffin, keep me honest with that one. I gotta look at it. I gotta email myself that too. Let me cut paste your name right here. I'm gonna Peter Griffin. I'm gonna Gmail myself that one too, because I'm gonna start doing this during shows, because sometimes I'll say stuff and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm not doing it because I'm not doing it because I'm lazy. I'm not doing it because I'm a stoner and I forgot. So when next time I'm thinking of something to do for one of those short videos, I will do that this week. There's shit all over John Haymaker's Mercedes. Who fucking did that? There's shit on the floor and I like it. Talk to you guys next time. Later. Brandon! I'm gonna just do it live! Shut the fuck up! Woohoo!